do some outside sitting tonight. Just got home and got my shower. I got laundry going. But pulling in, the basketball I noticed was moved. I had the basketball up here. And now it's down here. And there's also a bunch of sticks here, which I don't recall that. But there's also a bunch of sticks everywhere. Everywhere. Oh, Frank, Fletch. But anyway, the ball's been moved. I'm going to stick it back up here. 'Cause I don't see how it could have fell out without some assistance. There went a thump. It's been last night I about went live, but they kind of quit after a while. Look, that's in there pretty good. This is where I put it the other day. And it would take a lot. I don't think the wind can really blow it out. But I want to shore it up a bit with some of these extra sticks I got laying around. So this is the one that I found up in the bottom, and there's been a couple comments. Actually, one comment that I seen about the flood. First of all, I've been going up the side of the bottom where I found the ball at is the only way I can get up the holler right now because the road is completely blocked until you get up there to the end of the bottom. So there's nobody driving up there, and there's come to find out this weekend there's nobody coming the other way, like off the mountain. And so I don't think the ball's been there. It definitely wasn't there whenever the storms hit. Or I guess right after the storms, because I drove up through there a few times once, and I got video of it. I don't know, I might go back and review the video of going up there to assess the damage, what I could see. But anyway, get back to the flood. After the ice storms, we had the flood here. Well, this creek, like right here in front of the house, it got up, but maybe halfway up the bank, it never did overflow. It did in the bottom by the creek. This is where I found the ball, was on the other side of the bottom, and the flood didn't get up there, so the flood didn't carry it in. There's no way. And I don't know, I haven't seen a basketball around here in years. I'm not even sure where it came from. I guess it can't come out that way. But so it's definitely not the flood. Then I watched Blue Line Bigfoot. They went out, one of the fellers went out walking, and they found a basketball. And I don't think the flood brought that ball there. However, there was houses and stuff around. And there's the ball, just documenting it. I should have done it the other night whenever I first put it there. Check the whale out. There's a booger statue, whatever, ornament. I don't see nothing on the whale. Check this out. Ah, they're dead now. Got cold the other night. But these are some of the prettiest flowers. They come up really early. They're dead now. And the yellow rod is in bloom. Golden rod, yellow rod, whatever it's called. Little Pappy, Jim, Ruger. Anyway, I'm gonna go sit down. I'm wore out. It's been a rough couple months. I don't know if I've shown any pictures of the yard since I've been cleaning up. I got the whole road. All that's cleaned out there. I got a little bit of my ditch line left. And got all this done. Now I just gotta, there's a bunch of little sticks everywhere. We'll have to rake all that up, I guess. But I got a lot of the yard done too, and I've been stacking. I'm not going to do a garden this year, unfortunately. I'll probably grow some plants, maybe put some in buckets or whatever. But the 3 pine trees out here are getting cut down. And the only place I have to follow them is towards the garden. So that's one of my little summer projects. Hopefully I get that done. I don't want any pine trees anywhere near my house. These over here, they're all getting cut. But these 3 right here, kind of sucks. That's really a good knocking tree right there. One on the end. But they're huge. Those are getting cut. So I got to follow them right in the garden. And yeah, not doing the garden. I'm just going to have to excuse the mess on the porch. I haven't got to do a whole lot of kitchen remodeling or anything like that. I figure we could sit here and listen a bit, because they're definitely on the property right now. Haven't heard anything since I've been out tonight. See if I can get this. Put it facing this way so y'all ain't gonna see my mess. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Hello, Nick, Nancy, Happy, Smooth Rivers. Can y'all hear me? Rucker, Peggy, Bad Wolf, Cans, Hoosier, Diago. How's everyone doing? I got one more day of work and it's the weekend. Tomorrow we're supposed to get some rain, but after that we're supposed to have a pretty decent weekend. I want to try to work on dragging all that brush out of the bottom. If I can get that stuff out of the bottom and some of the bigger stuff out of my yard, I'll be happy and take a break on that, because I want to really get back to finishing my kitchen up so I can clean up a little bit. Stuff I got piled up everywhere. I need to get a bit more organized. It took me literally 15 minutes to find my phone stand. Did anybody watch Snow White Bigfoot's video today? I need to watch it too. I watched some of it on my phone at work, and from what I can see, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna watch it on my laptop here in a little bit. She sent it to me in a message. I don't get online a whole lot, or on YouTube a whole lot anyways. I got a BitChute and what's the other one called? But none of these other platforms have live videos. I don't like that. Odyssey, pretty cool, and Rumble. Hopefully one of these gets a live platform. And I know there are other ones that are live, but from what I understand, some of the people that I follow that go live a lot and have opinions that's not socialist get banned. So I don't know, D-Live's out. Their videos are getting banned. Because in my opinion, you ought to be able to say anything. Other people don't have to listen to it. They don't have to agree with it. They don't have to like it. But I think a person's got a right to say stuff. As long as that person's not harming anyone else. Right? Yeah, and I figured, if anyone's going to get a good picture of a booger, it's going to be her. She's put a lot of work, a lot of dedication into trying to get it, and I'm kick on deck for her. It's awesome. To top everything off, the last few days I've had a bit of a head cold. Like my throat's, it's not sore, it's just kind of raw feeling. Sorry, I got garbage laying around. This place is a mess. I feel, I almost feel defeated, to be honest with you. It's been a lot going on. There's old Matt. Hello, Andy. I don't know if we're going to get any action or whatever tonight. I just figured I'd show y'all where I put the ball. I wish I would have took a video or something of it, but I was just, whenever I put that up in the tree, I was pretty killed. Where is all this garbage even coming from? Now I got so much catching up to do with other crap and moving brush. But I've about got that chore done to where I can cut the grass, and after I get that out of the bottom, I'm wanting to get all this done before the grass starts growing, because it's not very healthy for your lawnmower, number one. And number two, once that grass starts growing, it gets tangled up in the brush, and it's going to be even worse, and especially at the bottom, because that stuff, it grows, and then it gets so high that you won't be able to see stuff. So I want to make sure I get all the bigger pieces out. I haven't had to use my generator in a while now. I got fancy paid for electricity, but I like my generator. I need to go ahead and finish draining it. You're supposed to let them run out of fuel, but this thing don't have a drain on it unless I take a hose loose, I guess. And it's got a metal tank, so I don't know. I need to figure out what I need to put in it to treat it. I don't want it rusting up or anything, because it was definitely handy. Hey, old thumbs down. How you doing, buddy? Guess you missed me also. The North Pole. Are you serious? 6 foot of snow. I haven't seen 6 foot of snow since 93, 94, something like that. I had my Jeep in, and it was pretty close to 6 foot. I haven't seen no big snows like that in a long time. Yeah, I think it was 94, because I had my Jeep. Last time we had a really big snow. The dogs, I guess you can go back through my videos and figure that out. It's kind of a long story, and I'm not going to get into it tonight. But there's no dogs here now. Arctic Circle. I don't know how you folks can stand that. I'm excited about spring. I no longer like wintertime, and I no longer like summertime. And this summer's going to be crap. I can already tell the bugs are already out right now. I'm sure the ticks are going to be out, and mosquitoes, because we didn't have no long cold snap or anything. That's no good. Hello, Susan. E3, did you find out anything on your truck or your sun's truck, Matt? Yeah, I couldn't handle that Arctic Circle deal. I mean, that takes a special breed. I was watching a video today about the old timer loggers. They was using draft horses and axes and like the hand saws, that 2-man saw deals, and then they was floating them down a river. It was amazing. There's no way you could get people to do that today. That was just a different, tougher breed. You for sure can't get this millennial generation to do that sort of work. Man, that'd be a disaster. Which reminds me, I went to the sawmill. I've got all these pine trees down, all right? For me to go buy a 6-foot or 8-foot 2x4 would cost me $6 to $8, just a regular 2x4. However, I went to the sawmills and I thought, well, I've got all these pines. Maybe I could haul them in, make a few dollars off of them. You know, there's a lumber shortage right now. I guess people got, you know, the booger man corona. It kept everybody home. And so a lot of people did remodeling. And I hope that their remodeling is going better than mine is. But, you know, it's hard to find lumber right now. And if you do find it, it's expensive. So I figure I'll go over there and see if I can sell some of these logs, because there's some pretty good sized pine trees that's down. Some really nice ones that I want to cut down. And they told me it was 15 cents a foot is all they're paying for the pine, which is nothing, next to nothing. It would cost you more to actually cut it and, you know, in fuel, just to cut it and to haul it in there. So that's quite surprising. They told me that most of the pine is southern pine right now that they use for that. So I guess a lot of this is going to go to waste. You know, just listen. I got to check my washer in. Here's a tip for you. Always make sure your load of clothes is balanced out in your washer. That sounds like a booger's beating on it. Oh, catfish. Going up the holler, you know what I was talking about now. Anyway, going up the lumber prices, and a lot of my lumbers, I guess, is just going to go to waste. And that kind of sucks, man. So I'm thinking about There's a guy down here. I'm gonna see if I can make a deal with him. Actually, I know a couple people now. I've been asking around. That's got the portable sawmills. So maybe if I can get him to bring his sawmill and split the lumber with him or whatever, that would be good. It's always handy on a farm to have lumber because you can never have enough sheds to put all your junk in. So that'd be good. But anyway, catfish, I went up the holler and the stones that's got like the ones I sent you. There's one laying right here. You have to forgive me because my brain don't work. Those that's got the stuff inside of them were the a big old beech tree up at my culvert slid in the creek right in front of the culvert, right that I worked so hard on over the summer. It's the root wad and all slid down in front of the culvert and it diverted the creek to run down the middle of the road, which was cool because whenever I was growing up, there's a few places that we used to go all the time, and the only way the road was the creek for a lot of it, for like half of it. And the road coming up here used to be the creek until we got a fancy county road. And which I was never part of the road being in the creek here. There is some trails you can go on around here. The road's part of the creek. But I do remember whenever our road was gravel. Anyway, it washed up a bunch of the road up there. And there's all kinds of, I mean, like dozens, maybe hundreds of those rocks up there that I've been picking up as I find them. They're washed out everywhere. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Hoosier. That guy's got a sawmill down there, and I mean, I'm not gonna fool with him or stack him up if I can't get nobody to bring him. Anybody that wants to do the mill work, I just leave them like they are. A lot of them are the tops are snapped out of them, but they're still good logs. They still make good saw logs. The main part of them. Oh man, I could make all kinds of shacks with them boards. I have little hunt shacks everywhere. It'd be fancy. Well, prayers, catfish. No worries, dude. I ain't, no big hurry or anything. I totally understand. I haven't had a chance to do much of anything. I don't know. Is this COVID deal's really? I don't think it's just me, but it's changing people. I think it's well, to be honest with you, it's pretty daggum depressing. And did y'all know that suicide rates are up? Percentage wise, there's more percentage that you're gonna die of suicide than COVID right now. And that's awful. I mean, can you imagine the mental health of these kids missing school and they're growing up in a totally different, changed world right now. And who knows what's going to happen next? It's one thing after another nowadays. Hello, Carla. But I don't know. It's pretty crazy right now. In case you haven't noticed. Alright. Whoops. Stand by. I hit the wrong button. Alright. What do you mean it's finished, man? The COVID? Man, I thought about getting one, but like just straight up buying one. But then, if I get someone with a sawmill over here, they're going to have, I guess, a tractor or something to get the daggum log up on the sawmill. I don't have that. I went over and priced one, and that was a depressing moment in my life. Turns out I'm pretty poor, which I'm going to go to a different place because the guy that I talked to, for some reason, the tractor that I built online was like, I'm thinking 30, 35, 36,000. And whenever I went over there, the same tractor was 51 something. Plus the interest rate was pretty high, so I need to talk to some banks because I'm not doing interest rate out the roof. Hello, sunshine. Yes, this is a man's chat. We're having a man meeting. Frogs are happy. All the frogs are chirping. Did y'all see the latest shooting in Colorado? Maybe you haven't heard about it. Or maybe what you heard was it was a white man, because white men are the cause of all the troubles in the world. And I guess to a certain extent that's true, except for I would take it a step further and say that it's the elitist white folk that's really the troubles of the world. The ones that like to eat babies and adrenochrome and keep us all slaves and keep us all stupid and fighting each other. But then they kind of did away with the story after it was found out that it was a Muslim. Anyway, this guy was being watched by the FBI, number one. But somehow he legally bought a gun. Isn't that weird? And then, again, you won't see this on YouTube because YouTube is a socialist, communist website. There's a video. I might do a live stream just and show this video. You can find it on Rumble, I think. Let me check real quick. I think it's on Rumble. Yes, you go to Rumble and go to a channel that's called And We Know, all one word. And We Know. Good channel. But this guy's running around, and I think it came out that he was like some kind of journalist or something later on. But he's running around with his cell phone, hollering about, there's a mass shooter here, and there's people laying on the ground and stuff. And I don't know what happened. I can't trust anything that I see anymore, and that's awful. I dang sure ain't gonna trust the mainstream media. But anyway, he's showing all these people. I don't see no blood or anything like that, like they've been shot. But this guy's sitting on beside the grocery store door while this other guy's running around filming all this. And he's just like looking at his phone and playing with his phone and stuff with the door wide open. And the guy's like, there's a shooter. And then he goes close to that guy at the door and he's like, do you know where the shooter's at? And about that time he steps in there and there's another person laying on the ground. And that guy's like, yeah, he's in the store. Like it's no big deal. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. If there's somebody going around shooting up everything, then number one, I'd run the other way if I wasn't armed myself. And I don't think I could be that calm with a shooter running around. It was just weird. What the heck was that? Anyway, I'll drop a link actually in the chat. Y'all should check this out. It's so strange. And I would recommend checking out this guy's whole channel. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot of channels out there, and with the whole, what they call the Q drops and all that. And it kind of had me watching some of it, and then they just keep pushing the date back. But I no longer trust a lot of these people because, I don't know what's going on. But it's awful. I don't know. It's awful weird. Yeah, that's the ones I'm looking at. Sure. That's the ones I went and priced. It's got the armor engine, however it's pronounced. It's yeah, that's the ones I'm looking at. They're a lot cheaper, and they're supposedly there's a guy at work that's got one, and there's also a guy on YouTube that Rural King is like loaning him like three different sizes of the tractors, and he just does videos on them, like out working on his farm and stuff. But he's pretty honest about them too. So yeah. I hear you, Matt. Hey, it's so the latest one that I seen, and I think it might be tomorrow. I think today's the 24th. It might be the 23rd. But anyway, on the 25th, something big's supposed to happen, and da da da, and all this and that. And I don't know. It's all just a big, pardon my French, but it's all just a big shat show. It's insane. Oh, Cece. Yeah, yeah. Here's the deal: all these world leaders, and I don't care if it's anybody, Biden or Putin or Kim Jong Il, all the way down. All these names, they're all in it together. Y'all hear that? They're all in it together. And it's all propaganda. Just fighting each other. They want to keep us stupid and ignorant about what's really going on and fighting each other. And it works because for whatever reason, people still watch mainstream media and still think it's true. And I'm not saying, don't get a vaccine or anything like that because, to be honest with you, I don't know. I'm not getting one. The boogeyman COVID don't scare me. You got a 99.7 or whatever percent chance of surviving it, even if you get it. I know one person that's had it personally, and it wasn't a big deal. But I think he might be a year younger than me. But anyway, we grew up together. It wasn't a big deal. The way he described it was like a mild case of the flu. But over in Europe, a lot of countries are banning it because of the blood clots and all that. But my point is, there's, I guess, some good medicines out there. But if you, I don't know, it used to be like this on TV. I don't know. I haven't had TV in 6 years now. But on the radio, you'll hear a commercial and it'll be about some kind of medicine. And then the next commercial is a lawsuit against some other type of medicine. Like right now, I think Zantac. There's lawsuits against the Zantac because it was contaminated or whatever and it's giving people cancer. But vaccines take normally years to make. And this is a brand new one that they come up with in months. And I don't know. I ain't down with being a guinea pig for something like that. Now, something made a noise up on the hillside. I don't know what it was. The camera's facing right at it. I figured y'all might have heard it. Really, Harold. See what's going on. I mean, there's all kinds of strange stuff that keeps me kind of on the hook. All kinds of strange stuff that's happening. And man, I really ought to go live on my laptop just to show y'all some of this stuff. Like, I don't know if you've heard of the, somebody hit me out here. It's like deep fake, but it's hologram. That's what it's called. They got, I mean, there's video of Biden out there, and his hand goes through a microphone. It's just all wonky looking. It's crazy. And then, I mean, you just keep hearing stuff, and I don't know. It's just all strange. Exactly, Matt. And man, people are eat up with it. And because if y'all remember, whenever all this first started, they're like, even if we do everything right, and even if we all stay away and stay out of the stores and wear 10 masks on your face, and there's going to be like millions of deaths in this year alone. Well, there wasn't. I mean, they put the fear of God into people over this, like it was the Black Plague coming back or something. And it, it just wasn't that. And again, the survival rate, even if you get it, is there's not much chance you're going to die from it to begin with. Then you got like the New York governor, what's his name, Anthony Cuomo, whatever his name is, putting people in nursing homes, and he's not the only one. Like the one in Michigan, she did it too, putting COVID patients in nursing homes. And the elderly are more susceptible to anything, right? From a common cold to whatever. They're at the end of their lives anyway. And one thing that's guaranteed in this world, ain't none of us getting out of it alive. Everybody's, the bell's gonna toll for everyone sooner or later. So the most important thing is to get your spirit right. That's the thing that can live eternally. And you can only do that by having Jesus Christ as your Savior. So I don't know. This whole thing just doesn't make no daggone sense. It's crazy. That's interesting, Harold. I mean, you hear all kinds of things, like there's different flights going in and out there. I watched a few different channels, and I like to try to, stay informed and look at everything. One thing I won't look at, unless it's, I don't know, I guess every once in a while I might, is some kind of mainstream media, Fox News or CNN or something like that. And I realize they're all in it together. Like here recently, you can go on a search engine. I advise don't use Google. I don't use Google no more, except for YouTube, I guess. But go on some kind of search engine and type in gun deaths in whatever, put a state in there, and it'll come up with every state's on the rise with gun deaths and all this and that. It's just, I don't know. But all these mass shooters, you know what the link is to them? That these mass shooters, they've all got something wrong with them mentally. And years back, they closed down all the. There's things that go wrong when people's brains go haywire. You get schizophrenics and straight up psychopaths, and they put a lot of them on medications or whatever, and just turn them loose now. There used to be awards for people like this, where they could get the help they needed and stuff, but now they're just all loose and they're out on the streets, and apparently even if you're being watched by the FBI, you can still go out and buy a gun, which is crazy. I bought a couple guns here recently, and you've got to fill out a form. All right, they got to send this form in to law enforcement, and I think you have to pass the FBI. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have to. I think the FBI looks at it also. It's a background check on you. Now, how in the heck does someone that's being watched by the FBI get a gun? I mean, that's that kind of weird. Isn't that strange? What's the slow progress, Sissy? Discarded. Right, and again, I'm not saying it's fake or anything like that, and people react differently to it, and it sure ain't healthy for you. I also think that it was made in a lab and released on purpose. Well, I mean, can y'all even register firearms there, man? I thought they done away with all that there. You don't allow boomerangs and slingshots or something. Can y'all have any type of firearm in Australia, man? And I mean, don't get me wrong. There's shootings here all the time, and there's people that go out and they'll steal your guns, and then guns get sold illegally here. And, people use them. There's a lot of like in some of these. Someone said these liberal cities, and I guess any big city, got different gangs and stuff on them, and I don't know. People's people's rotten, I guess, shoot each other. I couldn't imagine unless it was protecting myself or one of my loved ones or whatever. I couldn't pull a trigger on anybody for no good reason. That's insane. A lot of these cop channels now, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but a lot of the murders now are from knives. There's been a lot of videos released lately from people with knives. I don't know. I think it was all a control mechanism. Again, I think it's a real virus. It's just way overhyped, and I'm sure it's killed some people. But even the CDC came out and said that some of the deaths attributed to COVID wasn't actually COVID that killed the people; it was another underlying condition. But y'all got a mess down in Texas on especially with the border. That I mean, have y'all seen that? The videos. Number one, you got all these kids and they're in these bubbles, these rooms with tarps, like plastic tarps, and they're covered with some kind of full blanket and stuff, and it's plumb awful. And our brilliant, I don't know, selected president invited them up. And now that they're keeping them down there, and that's awful. But I tell you something else that's awful. And I know these people's just want, better lives. If they would go through the right channels, God bless them, come on in. But you got parents who would see. I don't have kids. I've never had kids, but I've got nieces and nephews and stuff. And there's no way in hell I would send them on a 1,000-mile journey with what they call coyotes, the people that smuggle them in. Who could do that to their kid? That's crazy to me. I mean, would anybody here do that to their kid? And then they come in and there's, you got all the COVID cases in there and they're all piled up on top of each other, and it's insane. Absolutely, Harold. No bluegrass. Lance and Melody. Oh, yeah, that's me. I don't like to go out in public. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't like people very much lately. It seems like everyone's rude now. Has anybody else noticed that? everyone's rude and selfish anymore, it seems like. But only work will pull another guy. And to beat it all on top of the storms and the trees down and the COVIDs and floods and all that. Whenever the first ice storm hit, he slipped and fell down. And he's I think he's 55, 56, something like that. And it's just me and him that work in the shop. Works on diesel trucks and trailers and reefers and all that. But he broke a rib. Well, he didn't know he broke a rib till like a week later. He was getting off the couch or something, and it just, I guess, it fractured it whenever he fell. But I guess it put it out of joint or whatever, and he really felt it then. And he went to the hospital and everything. Anyway, make long story short, he can't do anything right now because they say if he moves it wrong or lifts something wrong or twist wrong or whatever, it could go into one of his lungs, and that ain't no good. But so I've had to do everything at work, and man, I'm taking a day come April around the 15th. Turkey season opens up, and I'm gonna take a few days off of work. I am beat. I have never in my life been so busy or tired. It's insane. I'm really feeling. Yeah, I agree, Rucker. And I would have showed that package, to be honest with you. They've let a lot of undesirables into Europe. You take a person out of a totally different culture, and then you move them into another country where you got two totally different cultures, and all of a sudden you find your women's getting raped for just walking down the street, and just all kinds of crazy stuff going on. That's insane. Prayers, Harold. Yeah, I seen pictures the other day. I can't remember what video I seen it on. And again, you're not going to find it on YouTube. I suggest everyone go to Odyssey and get you an account on Odyssey or even BitChute, which BitChute I don't like as much as Odyssey. But Odyssey seems like a way more freer platform. But there's pictures of little kids' underwear and clothing and stuff down on the border, and then like all kinds of condoms and like sex lube bottles and all that laying around. Uh, how anyone could send their kid with a total stranger like that is beyond me. Right. And I understand that also, Sissy, but it's just, I don't know. How could someone send their kids like that? Yeah, I've watched that channel too, Harold. But again, I don't know. I don't know. It's just hard for me to trust anything anymore. All right, Matt, be good, bub. I'm probably gonna go find me something to eat here in a minute. I ain't heard anything else on the hillside. I just wanted to jump on live and show the basketball, really. Is anyone? Because I seen this and then it was gone. It was on a website. It was I can't remember if it was. It might have been on Breitbart, but it was linked from a different like news organization somewhere over in Europe about 18 countries banned the vaccine. And then I went back to look at it like the next day or something, it was gone. The whole story was gone. You ain't right, Pappy. Hey, did you get your tree down, Pappy? I'm trying to clean up a bunch of trees and you cut one down. What's wrong with you? Anyways, I don't know. I might try to go. I've been meaning to do it, go live and talk about some of this other stuff that's on these different media platforms other than YouTube. Maybe YouTube will just go ahead and get rid of me and kick me off, censor my speech. Which, if anyone, it seems like nowadays people are trying to get rid of their freedoms, which again is insane to me. But if you're being honest about it, then you know that one side's getting banned, right, and the other side can do whatever they want to do or say. It's crazy. Is it? I've watched one of the 411s. It's been a while back. But there's something about blood clots, the vaccines. I can't remember which one it was. They had like a few of them over there. That's what I'm going to do is delimb these out here. And I've got a couple burn piles started in my garden. And if I fall in over towards the garden, then I won't have to carry them as far. So that's good. Seen the link, Sissy? They are. Skibo. Wow. I hope it goes good for you, Janet. But yeah, absolutely. They're brainwashing everyone. And like my mom and my dad's generation, they eat mainstream news up. Whatever mainstream news is telling them is gospel. And then you can talk to them about, what about this lie? What about this lie? That's been exposed, that everyone knows that they lied. Yeah, that was a lie. Why do you keep watching it? If someone's lying to you and they're not telling you the truth, you can't trust them. So why keep watching it? But they've been, they're brainwashed from the TV. I mean, television, and then you turn it on to the channels, and then what's on the channels? Programming, right? It's programming. I mean, it's right there in your face, and it keeps getting worse and worse. I seen a video the other day about the Grammys or whatever. I don't even know who these people are. But this is on, like one of the main ABC or NBC, I don't even know what channel it's on. One of the main channels, and it's two women doing filthy things together. And these are the role models for the kids now, I guess. It's absolutely crazy. We're living in Sodom and Gomorrah right now. All right, thanks, CC. I'll check it out. It might be the one I fall asleep to tonight. Oh, man. I do believe my laundry's done. Doing laundry and I got my dishwasher going. I'm pretty excited about the dishwasher. And that's going to be handy. Now if I can only get the time to do a bit of cleanup in the house and finish my kitchen. I've been building the shelves before I put my walls up in the pantry so I can get easier access to it. Hopefully I can get all that wrapped up and do some mushroom hunting. I'm excited about that. But anyways, where'd the thing go? Why did I do that? I clicked on that link. Let's go back to the, now the video, my video's gone. Oh, there's another guy that talks a lot. Paranormal Central is now live. I might check that out. But then again, I mean, you know, everything's take everything with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Me neither, Hoosier. I haven't had a TV in like 6 years. And I don't miss it a bit. And then, you know, whenever I got rid of the TV and I got on YouTube, and YouTube was great. You could get on YouTube and look up any type of information that you wanted on YouTube. Or, you know, Google was like that too. But now you can't find nothing on it. Nothing that you was interested in or whatever. I mean, Top End Giants or whatever. You ain't gonna find nothing like that. There's still a couple channels, I guess. Like Ken Hovind talks about it, but can't find that anymore. YouTube sucks now. You type something in and go to search it, and what does it bring you? The mainstream news channels. It's crazy. That's why I got rid of the TV, so that's why I'll be getting rid of YouTube whenever I can find a good platform. Going back to see if I missed anything. You're not doing what this season? Or Sanders, sorry. Yeah, that's exactly. They want to keep us stupid and fighting each other, and it's an old tactic that they've used forever. So just now, whenever I was quiet and reading, did y'all hear anything? And notice that the frogs were quiet. Now the frogs have started back up again. But I thought I heard some vocalizations. Right. I mean, even the I went over to taking a cable back to my cousin the other day, and they was talking about. They said it was they thought it was a coy dog, but the way they described it, I think it's a wolf. There's wolves around here, and it sounded like the one I seen years back. They said it's a pretty good size one. I know there's some big cats around here. Haven't seen the cat in a while. Yeah, I thought I heard some vocalizations, and the frogs are quiet again now. It's little things like that to pay attention to. Oh, they've been down, Susie. I think they came down earlier. We'll check out back out there. I don't think those sticks were there, but they could have been. There's sticks everywhere. Where the basketball was today or tonight. About hit a deer coming in tonight. Oh, also went to Lowe's this morning, and coming back I got pulled over for speeding. But the cop, it was a state trooper too, but he was cool. He just gave me a warning. And what it was is I had my cruise, it's a 55 mph zone. I had my cruise set about 60, 61, something like that. And I came over a hill, and I don't know if it's, I've never noticed this about my truck, but I guess maybe where it's a standard shift, like if you're using cruise control and automatic and you're going downhill, it'll downshift. But hang on. I was top of the hill, went down the other side, and I guess I picked up speed, and he said he clocked me at 70. I don't know if I was going that fast or not. But he was cool about it and just give me a warning, so thank God for that. Well, this time of the year, I think whenever it starts getting warm, like right now, it's nice out. It's probably um, at least above 60 degrees, and it's been a real pretty day today. The last few days have been, I think they get excited. I think, right now, the last few months, especially the last month or so, has been very lean times for them. And, cold, just crappy ice storms and all that mess. And but now you got things starting to bud out, so there's a little bit of food. It was about this time of year when I found that stinky, runny poo. And I think they start going on a more of a vegetable diet. They're probably sick and tired of eating meat right now, or whatever they eat, rough feed or whatever they can find. So yeah, I think they definitely start getting more active in the spring. Who knows? I don't know. They might have like a mating season or even birthing season or something like that in the spring too. A lot of critters, have youngins in the spring, early spring. There's probably a few fawns drop now. Won't be long, and turkeys will be a gobbling and chasing the hens around. I only meant to jump on for a second, walk beard, but I am going to jump off here now, though. I gotta get something to eat. I ate before I went into work. I didn't get a chance to eat lunch. It's just been insane at work. It's not very fun. But I guess I'm gonna jump off here and go make a couple of sandwiches and I guess go to bed. But I'll try to jump on on the laptop and do some screen sharing. Maybe this weekend if I'm not gutted, and show y'all some of this odd stuff that's going on. It's just so weird what's happening on our planet right now. It's a strange time to be alive.
And I hope the Lord comes back quickly. Everybody have a blessed night. Be good to one another. Do something nice for your neighbor. Take care of them old folks. And God bless.